As I said earlier, most of the mega caps are lower today ahead of next week's earnings. That's where we begin with our panel this hour. Liz Thomas, head of investment strategy at SoFi. Adam Parker, founder and CEO of Trivariate. And Stephanie Link of Hightower. Both Steph and Adam are CNBC contributors. Liz, I'll start with you. So this is really the entree into Mag 7 earnings. What's the great takeaway going to be, do you think, when these have delivered, and what's it going to mean for the market?
Well, really the story, as it has been, and I think it will continue, is about sentiment. And I was on Closing Bell about a month ago and talked about the fact that I think this rally can continue and the bull market can continue, but it won't be without these intermittent breakdowns in beta. And we are right in the midst of an intermittent breakdown in beta, and it's happening the way that you would expect. So as we hear from these Mag 7 names, I think it's going to affect sentiment. I think investors are going to react to it, and it may feel more volatile than usual just because of how extended we got. So you look at some of the factor performance over the last week. We've got value stocks, high quality stocks doing well, right? And then you look at some of the stuff that hasn't done well, momentum has really taken a hit. So a lot of those crowded trades, a lot of the stuff that's run up so much, gold being on that list as well.
You're talking about perceived frothy areas of the market.
Not even perceived, real.
Yeah.
Right? So
I couched it,
frothy.
I didn't have to, but.
Real froth in the market coming out. So as the Mag 7 information comes out, you're going to see sentiment react to that more than anything. And then again, this is all about guidance. It's all about spending. And I think for the rest of 2025, it will continue to be about spending. But in 2026, it becomes, where is the real profit?
How do you see it?
Nice to see everyone. Thanks for having me. Look, I think the earnings season for Mag 7 is going to be, what the market needs is Goldilocks on the Capex. So you need to believe it's going higher. The Capex is going higher. Maybe not.
Is there anything to lead you to believe it's not? I mean, you really expect them to say something otherwise?
No, I think in the distribution of it's flat to down, higher or way higher, you get assigned probabilities. I got a low one to flat to down in the next couple of quarters, but I think it has to come up. I think you have to be convinced that they're still very committed to high return on that spending. I think there's some risk that they actually spend too much in the short term and freak people out a little bit. So, I'm not saying Microsoft's going to have negative free cash flow.
Are we past that stage?
I don't think so, and I don't agree. The frothing is an interesting word. I think there's froth in the profitless, you see ARK down 5%. It's a low quality hypergrowth proxy or whatever, Goldman profitless basket. Like those things, there's froth, the number of companies that are up 100% or more in 6 months. But I don't know if there's froth in the Mag 7.
No.
I think it's a little bit different.
I don't think that Liz is talking about.
No, she didn't say that. No, she didn't say that.
But if you look at, you say the gold miners, the gold stocks are up massive.
It's a lot of speculation.
If I showed you the AI power plays, a lot of these stocks that Steph loves so much, they've gone like crazy.
Yeah, I just think there's a risk that, if you say the Mag 7 going to be way bigger in 2 years or way smaller, I'll take way bigger. I think there's a reasonable chance that happens, and it's hard for people who actively manage to beat the index when that happens, so that nobody's rooting for that and they want breadth and all that. But the data center spend, believe 2/3 of what Jensen says or whatever, multiply it by 0.6, like it's going to grow 100% in the next 18 months. So do I want exposure to stuff growing 100%? I think so, kind of, yeah.
What do you think? There is air coming out of a lot of those areas. Even stocks that have had good earnings. Look at GE Vernova, perfect example of that today. You can pull it up. Good report, not good reaction in the stock market. Isn't that a sign of something?
No. And I knew you were going to start with that for me. GE Vernova and Vertiv.
Before we walk right into it, when you're talking about perceived froth or things that have gone up a ton, and then they actually deliver on the earnings and the stock goes down.
They're up a lot. Okay, GE Vernova is up 100% in the last year, not just the last month or two. It's actually down 17% now from its high, which I think is quite interesting. Vertiv rose 40%, well, 45% from September, early September. So, yeah, maybe it was a little extended, but the expectations were so high, but these quarters were so good. So maybe you see, when I always say earnings season is silly season, that's exactly what I mean. The fundamentals of both of these companies today were mind-boggling. Vertiv beat and raised. Total revenue up 28%. Operating margins beat by 200 basis points. Orders up 60%. Book-to-bill up at 1.4 times.
But how come people only say silly season when the stocks they love go down on earnings. They don't look at the trajectory of the stock going up and saying that's silly season the whole way up.
No, it's not, because of the fundamentals that I just told you. Orders of 60% for an industrial company is unheard of. And same thing with GE Vernova. Their orders grew 50%. And they actually beat and raised for electrification growth. They raised their numbers. So numbers are going higher. Stocks follow profits eventually. I don't care if these are crowded stocks or not. This is a theme that you want to have long-term exposure to. Throw in Eaton, throw in Quanta Services and Rockwell. I can name a whole bunch, and I want to own them all.
Look at Oklo, for example, which I don't think you own.
That's a different story. Okay. That totally is a speculation in my mind. Totally. Any of the nuclear stuff is total speculation. You're not going to use nuclear 100% of nuclear.
Well, maybe there are 6 degrees of speculation in this market.
Could be.
Okay.